Before you spend another Lincoln penny, stop. What if a common-looking 1967, 1970D, 1973, 1975, or 1979D cent in your pocket could be worth thousands, or even an eye-popping fortune to the right collector? Today, we're revealing the rare error varieties and key details that every coin hunter needs to know. Stay tuned. You have tossed it into a jar, dropped it into a vending machine, or let it slip through your fingers as pocket change without a second thought. Now, what if I told you that one specific version of that unassuming penny, the 1967 Lincoln 1 cent with no mint mark, has the potential to be worth up to a staggering $588,000? That is not a typo. That is nearly $600,000 for a single coin that looks almost identical to the billions of others sitting in jars and drawers across America. The difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin that could buy you a house comes down to a few microscopic details, a ghost in the market that very few people know how to identify. And right now, as you watch this video, there is a very real chance that one of these treasures is sitting within arm's reach of where you are standing. The question is not whether you have a 1967 penny in your possession. The question is whether you have the right 1967 penny. And more importantly, whether you will recognize it before you spend it. Stop and think about that for a moment. Every single day, millions of Americans handle pocket change without ever considering that their spare coins could be worth more than their monthly mortgage. The 1967 Lincoln cent represents one of the most fascinating chapters in American numismatic history, a period of transition, experimentation, and accidental treasure. Between 1965 and 1967, the United States Mint made a decision that would forever change the landscape of coin collecting. In an effort to discourage hoarding during a national coin shortage, the Mint deliberately removed all mint marks from every coin produced, regardless of whether they were struck in Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. This means that your 1967 penny, unlike coins from almost any other year, carries no indication of where it was made. On the surface, this seems like a trivial detail, but in the world of numismatics, that missing letter is everything. It is the difference between a coin that is worth its face value and a coin that collectors will fight over at auction. The absence of a mint mark is not an error in itself, but it is the gateway to understanding why certain 1967 pennies have become the holy grail of modern coin collecting. Now, let us get into the technical details because this is where the real story begins. The 1967 Lincoln cent was struck during a unique window in American coinage history. The composition of the coin itself is significant. Unlike modern pennies, which are mostly zinc with a thin copper plating, the 1967 cent was made of 95% copper and 5% tin or zinc. This gives the coin a distinct weight of 3.11 grams and a rich bronze color that collectors prize. But composition alone does not create a six-figure coin. What creates that kind of value is the presence of specific mint errors, anomalies that occurred during the production process and turned an ordinary coin into a numismatic masterpiece. The 1967 penny is known for several types of errors that can dramatically increase its value. These include off-center strikes, where the coin was not properly aligned during minting, resulting in a design that is shifted to one side. They include double die errors, where the design elements appear twice due to a misalignment in the die itself. They include clipped planchet errors, where the metal blank from which the coin was struck was improperly cut, leaving a distinctive curved or straight clip on the edge of the coin. But the most valuable and rarest of all are the wrong planchet errors, where a 1967 Lincoln cent design was accidentally struck onto a planchet intended for a different denomination, such as a dime or a foreign coin. These coins are so rare that they are almost never seen in circulation. When they do appear, they command prices that can exceed $500,000. The 1967 penny is what experts call a ghost in the market because its true value is hidden in plain sight. The average person looks at it and sees a penny. The trained eye looks at it and sees a potential life-changing payday. Here is a moment of truth for you. Pull out your phone right now and set a reminder to check your change jar when this video is over. I am serious. Pause the video if you have to. The difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin worth nearly $600,000 is not something you want to discover after you have already spent it at a convenience store. This is not hyperbole. This is the reality of the modern coin market. The most valuable 1967 penny ever sold was a specimen graded MS67RD by the Professional Coin Grading Service, which fetched nearly $5,000 at auction. But that is just the beginning. Special mint set pennies from 1967, which were produced in limited quantities of just over 1.8 million sets, have sold for over $5,000 in pristine condition. And when you start talking about the extreme rarities, the off-metal strikes, the double denominations, and the unique errors that have been certified by PCGS and NGC, the prices skyrocket into six-figure territory. The market for error coins has never been hotter. Collectors are paying premiums that would have been unthinkable just a decade ago. The demand is driven by a combination of factors, including the increasing scarcity of high-grade copper pennies, the growing popularity of error coin collecting as an investment strategy, and the simple fact that these coins represent a tangible piece of American history that you can hold in your hand. Every time a 1967 penny is discovered with a significant error, it makes headlines in the numismatic community. Every time one of these coins goes to auction, the bidding wars are fierce. This is not a niche hobby anymore. This is serious money. Let us talk about the market trends because this is where the urgency comes in. The value of rare coins has been climbing steadily over the past several years as more investors look for alternative assets that are not tied to the volatility of the stock market. Copper prices alone have made the 1967 penny worth about 2 cents in melt value, but the numismatic value of error coins far exceeds any metal content. The 1967 penny with no mint mark represents a specific moment in time, a 3-year period when the United States Mint experimented with production techniques, eliminated mint marks to discourage hoarding, and replaced traditional proof sets with special mint sets. This was a time of change, the Vietnam War, the space race, and a nation grappling with economic uncertainty. The coins from this era carry the weight of that history, and collectors are willing to pay a premium for that connection. But here is the reality that most people do not understand. The window of opportunity to find these coins in circulation is closing. As more people become aware of the value of error coins, the chances of finding one in your pocket change diminish. The coins that are out there are being pulled from circulation, graded, and sold to collectors. The supply is finite, and the demand is only increasing. If you have a 1967 penny sitting in a jar somewhere, you owe it to yourself to examine it carefully. Look for the errors we have discussed. Look for the anomalies. Look for anything that seems off about the design, the alignment, or the composition. And if you find something that looks unusual, do not spend it. Do not clean it. Do not try to polish it. Take it to a reputable coin dealer or submit it to a professional grading service. The difference between a coin worth 1 cent and a coin worth nearly $600,000 is not in the date or the mint mark alone. It is in the details, the errors, the ghost in the machine that turned an ordinary penny into a treasure. Here is a moment of humor for you. How many of you have thrown away a fortune without even realizing it? How many times have you been the spender rather than the collector? The 1967 penny is a perfect example of the spender versus collector contrast. The spender sees a penny and thinks nothing of it. The collector sees a penny and thinks about the history, the rarity, and the potential value. The spender uses the coin to buy a stick of gum. The collector uses the coin to buy a new car. The difference is not in the coin itself. The difference is in the knowledge. And right now, you have the knowledge. You know what to look for. You know why the 1967 penny with no mint mark is special. You know the errors that can make it worth a fortune. The only question is whether you will act on that knowledge. So here is your call to action. Do not wait. Do not assume that your coins are worthless. Go to your change jar, your wallet, your couch cushions, and look for the 1967 Lincoln cent. Examine it carefully under good lighting. Use a magnifying glass if you have one. Look for off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchets, or any other anomaly that seems out of place. If you find something that looks promising, do not spend it. Do not sell it to the first person who makes you an offer. Do your research. Get it authenticated. And if you are lucky enough to have one of the extreme rarities, you could be looking at a payday that changes your life. The market for these coins is hot right now, and the value is only going to increase as more people become aware of what they are looking for. And before you go, I have a cliffhanger for you. The 1967 penny is just the beginning. There are other ultra-rare coins hiding in plain sight, coins that could be sitting in your pocket change right now, waiting to be discovered. Every single day, Americans toss pennies into jars, leave them on counters or worse, spend them without a second thought. And in that careless moment, they could be throwing away a life-changing fortune. Because hidden among the billions of copper coins clinking in your pocket change right now could be a ghost. A 1970 Lincoln 1-cent penny so rare, so riddled with minting errors, that it has sent shockwaves through the numismatic world with a potential market value approaching an astounding $490,000. Let that sink in. A single penny, worth nearly $500,000. The question isn't whether you've held one. The question is whether you've already spent one without ever knowing what you had. Here's the cold, hard truth that separates the wealthy from the rest. The wealthy pay attention to detail. They understand that fortune doesn't always announce itself with a fanfare. Sometimes it arrives disguised as pocket change, quietly waiting for the person who knows exactly what to look for. The 1970 Lincoln cent is the ultimate test of that principle. Over 2.89 billion of these pennies were struck at the Denver Mint in 1970. A staggering number that makes the coin appear utterly common. And in most cases, it is. A standard circulated 1970 penny is worth exactly 1 cent. An uncirculated example might fetch a few dollars. But here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. Within that ocean of nearly 3 billion coins, a microscopic handful were born with errors so extraordinary that they have become the holy grail of modern numismatics. Look at your hands. Are you holding a penny right now? Go ahead, check your pocket, your wallet, that jar on your nightstand. I'll wait. This is where the confrontation begins, where we separate the common from the legendary. The 1970 penny that commands such astronomical value isn't just any penny. It's a coin that carries specific, unmistakable minting anomalies that transform base metal into treasure. The first and most celebrated of these is the repunched mint mark, or RPM. Picture this. The Denver Mint mark, that tiny D just below the date, was struck not once, but twice. The secondary D appears slightly offset, often south of the primary mark, creating a bold, unmistakable doubling that is visible under magnification. This isn't a post-mint damage or a trick of the light. This is a die variety that happened at the moment of creation, authenticated by the leading authorities in the field. The Combined Organizations of Numismatic Error Collectors of America lists it as RPM number 2. The Copper Coins website identifies it as 1970 1mm002. And here's what makes it even more tantalizing. This same coin often carries a second error, a minor obverse double die visible as a partial horizontal bar above the number 7 in the date. 2 distinct errors on a single coin. That's not a mistake. That's a masterpiece of minting chaos. But wait, there's more to this ghost story. The 1970 penny can also exhibit what collectors call the floating roof error, where the memorial building's roof appears to float above the columns due to die polishing that removed the connecting lines. While this particular error is often overhyped online with inflated asking prices, the realistic value sits between $5 and $50. But don't let that fool you into complacency. The true giants, the coins that make collectors weak in the knees, are the ones that combine rarity with undeniable, dramatic errors. And here's where we reset your attention once more. Look at the date on that penny in your hand right now. Is it 1970? Does it have a D below the date? Now look closer, much closer. Do you see any doubling on that mint mark? Any extra lines? If you do, stop everything you're doing. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room. The market value. You've heard the number, $490,000. But how does a coin reach such dizzying heights? It's a perfect storm of factors. First, scarcity. While the 1970s double die obverse, with only about 50 known specimens, set a record of $38,400 at heritage auctions, the 1970D with the right combination of errors exists in even more vanishing numbers. Second, condition. A coin graded MS67 or higher by PCGS is considered very scarce to rare. The highest graded 1970D ever recorded is an MS67 plus red. A coin of exceptional preservation that commands a premium beyond imagination. Third, and perhaps most importantly, market momentum. The numismatic market is heating up like never before. Collectors are hunting modern rarities with the fervor once reserved for ancient coins. Prices are climbing. Records are being shattered. And the coins that were once overlooked are now commanding fortunes. But here's the painful truth that keeps serious collectors awake at night. Most people who have held a valuable error penny never knew it. They spent it on a pack of gum. They dropped it in a Coinstar machine. They tossed it in a jar and forgot about it. The difference between you and them is awareness. You are now armed with knowledge that 99.9% of the population does not possess. You know what to look for. You understand that the D isn't just a letter. It's a potential ticket to financial freedom. This brings us to the resolution, the call to action, the moment where you decide whether you're a spender or a collector. The 1970 D Lincoln cent with the repunched mint mark and obverse double die is not just a coin. It's a ghost in the market. It appears so rarely that when it does, it sends ripples through the entire collecting community. Auction houses scramble. Bidding wars erupt. And when the hammer falls, someone walks away with a life-changing sum of money. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is simple. Go through your change. Search those coin jars. Visit your local bank and ask for rolls of pennies. Learn to use a magnifying glass. Study the diagnostics. And if you find a 1970 D that shows any signs of doubling on the mint mark or the date, do not, I repeat, do not spend it. Do not clean it. Do not handle it carelessly. Send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC immediately. Authentication is everything in this world. A raw, ungraded coin is just a coin. A slabbed, authenticated error is a certified treasure. The urgency is real. The market is hungry. Every day that passes, more collectors enter the hunt. The supply isn't increasing. These coins were struck once, decades ago, and they're only getting harder to find. The window of opportunity is narrowing. And the person who finds the next great 1970 D error could be you. But before you go, I want to leave you with something to think about. This coin, this tiny piece of copper and zinc, represents something far bigger than its metal content. It represents the idea that wealth is everywhere, hiding in plain sight. It represents the power of knowledge. It represents the difference between seeing and truly observing. The wealthy don't just see pennies, they see potential. They don't just spend money, they invest it. And right now, in your pocket, in your car, in that dusty jar on your shelf, there could be a $490,000 investment waiting to be discovered. They pull out a worn leather coin purse, and a single penny slips from their fingers, bouncing once, twice, before rolling to a stop right at your feet. You pick it up, glance at the date 1973, and without a second thought, you hand it back. They nod a quick thanks, drop it into the cashier's palm, and walk away. In that moment, you just witnessed a transaction that could have cost that stranger nearly $500,000. You just watched someone spend a potential fortune on a pack of gum. This is the terrifying and exhilarating reality of the 1973 no-mint mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. It is the ghost in your pocket, the treasure hiding in plain sight, and the ultimate test of whether you are a spender or a collector. In the world of numismatics, the difference between pocket change and a down payment on a house is often just a single glance, a single moment of awareness. And today, we are going to train your eyes to see what almost everyone else misses. Before you scroll past this video, I need you to do something. Stop everything you are doing right now and look down. Look at the change in your cup holder. Look at the jar on your dresser. Look at the coins scattered in the bottom of your purse or the ashtray of your car. Are you looking? Good. Because right now, in this very room, you could be sitting on a piece of American history worth a staggering $490,000. The 1973 Lincoln cent is a fascinating anomaly in the United States mint's history. Produced in Philadelphia, these coins bear no mint mark, which is standard for the era. But here is where the story takes a sharp turn into the realm of the extraordinary. While the Philadelphia Mint produced a staggering 3.7 billion of these pennies in 1973, making the standard issue practically worthless at face value, the rare, high-grade specimens are the unicorns of the modern coin world. The secret lies not in the date, but in the condition and the errors that occurred during the minting process. Most people assume that if a coin has no mint mark, it must be an error. This is the first trap of the amateur collector. The absence of a mint mark on a 1973 penny simply means it was born in Philadelphia. The real treasure, the one that commands the six-figure price tag, is the coin that survived the chaos of the mint with an almost impossible level of perfection. We are talking about coins that retain 95% or more of their original, fiery orange copper luster, known in the trade as a red coin. Over 40 years of oxidation, handling, and circulation have turned virtually all of these pennies into a dull, lifeless brown. But the ones that stayed pristine, that avoided the bag marks and nicks from high-speed machinery, are the ones that trigger bidding wars among the world's wealthiest collectors. Now, let's get technical. The 1973 penny is composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc. It is a heavy, substantial coin compared to the copper-plated zinc we use today. This specific composition, combined with the high-speed production of the early 1970s, created a perfect storm for unique errors. The 1973 series does not have a major double die error like its famous predecessor from 1972. That is the second trap. While the 1972 double die is a well-known and highly collectible error, the 1973 coin's value is almost entirely driven by what numismatists call condition rarity. The Philadelphia Mint was producing coins at a breakneck pace to meet the demand for small change. In this industrial frenzy, dies wore down, metal alloys sometimes mixed improperly, and planchets occasionally fed into the presses off-center. These anomalies, the woodies from improper alloy mixtures, the off-metal strikes, and the coins struck on incorrect planchets, all add layers of value to a coin that is already rare in its pristine state. But the specific error that pushes the value into the stratosphere is not a single glaring mistake. It is the absence of mistakes. It is the perfect strike, the full original mint luster, and the lack of any distracting marks. In the world of high-stakes coin collecting, perfection is the most valuable error of all. The market for these high-grade specimens is white-hot. In 2020, a 1973p penny graded MS67 Plus red by the professional coin grading service sold for nearly $4,000. Another gem-quality specimen from the Denver Mint, the 1973D, has sold for nearly $5,000. These are the prices for coins that are merely extremely rare. But the $490,000 figure is reserved for the absolute pinnacle, the coin that combines a perfect strike with a unique mint error that makes it a true one-of-a-kind. This is the coin that exists only in the dreams of collectors and the vaults of the ultra-wealthy. This is the coin that makes professional numismatists salivate. The current market trend is showing an insatiable appetite for modern rarities, with collectors willing to pay unprecedented premiums for coins that have survived the decades in perfect, untouched condition. The 1973 penny is at the center of this feeding frenzy. The urgency is palpable. Every day, more of these coins are lost to the melting pot, lost in circulation, or simply worn down by the passage of time. The window to find one of these treasures is closing, and it is closing fast. So what does this mean for you? It means that the next time you reach into your pocket for a handful of change to pay for a coffee, you need to pause. You need to look. You need to see the date, 1973, and you need to ask yourself, is this the one? Is this the coin that slipped through the cracks, untouched by the ravages of time? Is this the coin that a major grading service would certify as a mint state 67 red? The difference between a 1-cent piece and a $500,000 payday is a single 40-year-old decision made by some anonymous worker at the Philadelphia Mint. But for you, the decision is made in the present. It is made the moment you decide to look a little closer, to care a little more. The 1973 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent is more than just a coin. It is a symbol of hidden wealth. It is a testament to the fact that fortune truly does favor the prepared mind. The spender sees a penny and thinks of nothing. The collector sees a penny and sees potential. The collector sees the ghost in the machine, the beautiful accident of history, and the key to financial freedom. The choice is yours. Will you keep spending your fortune, or will you start collecting it? This has been just one chapter in the incredible story of the hidden treasures in your pocket change. But the world of numismatics is vast, and the 1973 penny is just the tip of the iceberg. There are other coins out there, other errors, other ghost stories waiting to be discovered. Coins that could be sitting in your very own coin jar right now. We have only scratched the surface. In our next video, we are going to dive into the terrifying world of the 1969's double die obverse, a coin so rare and so valuable that it has been known to cause heart palpitations among collectors. It is the holy grail of the Lincoln Cent series, and we are going to show you exactly what to look for. The hunt does not end here, it is only just beginning. Subscribe now and hit that notification bell so you never miss another opportunity to find the fortune that is hiding in your own backyard. You're at a coffee shop. You pay with cash. The barista hands you a handful of change, and you drop a single, unassuming penny into the tip jar. You just gave away a down payment on a mansion. That is the reality of the 1975 no-mint Mark Lincoln 1-cent penny. It is the ultimate spender versus collector tragedy. While millions of these coins are spent every single day for exactly 1 cent, a tiny, almost invisible fraction of them are hiding a secret that could change your life forever. The average person sees a penny. A numismatist sees potential. And right now, in 2026, the numismatic world is buzzing with a fever pitch over this specific coin. The question is, are you going to keep treating your pocket change like trash? Or are you going to start looking at it like a treasure map? Stop what you're doing. Right now. Look at the screen. Do you have a jar of pennies in your closet? A cup of change in your car? Go get it. I'll wait. Because the difference between a millionaire and everyone else is often just a matter of paying attention. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, why this coin is a ghost in the market, and why you need to act now before someone else finds the treasure that could be sitting in your own home. Let's dive into the confrontation. What makes the 1975 penny so special, and why is it commanding such astronomical prices? The answer lies in a perfect storm of history, minting errors, and extreme rarity. First, we have to understand the baseline. In 1975, the United States Mint was operating at full capacity. The Philadelphia Mint, which at the time did not place a P mint mark on its pennies, struck a staggering 5.4 billion Lincoln Memorial cents. To put that in perspective, that's more than 5,000 million coins. Because of this massive production, the average 1975 penny you find in your pocket is worth exactly 1 cent. It's nothing special. It's the definition of common. But here is where it gets interesting. In the world of coin collecting, it's not about the quantity minted. It's about the quality that survived. Out of those 5.4 billion coins, only a microscopic fraction were preserved in pristine, uncirculated condition. The vast majority were thrown into pockets, tossed into cash registers, and worn down by decades of use. But for a coin to be worth serious money, it needs to be perfect. So what is perfect? For the 1975 penny, perfection is graded on the Sheldon scale, a 70-point system used by professionals. Most circulated coins grade below 60. But the coins that are setting the market on fire are those grading at MS67 and above. An MS67 red, RD 1975 penny, meaning it has retained its original, brilliant copper luster without any discoloration, can be worth hundreds of dollars. But then there's the anomaly, the coin that broke the internet. We are talking about the MS68 red specimen. This is the ultimate unicorn. It's the coin that survived not just circulation, but also the natural oxidation process that turns most copper pennies brown. To achieve an MS68 grade, a coin must have virtually no marks, perfect luster, and a strike that is razor sharp. It is so rare that only a handful are known to exist. And in 2018, one of these specimens sold at auction for a staggering $9,000. But wait, you didn't click on this video to hear about $9,000. You clicked because you heard about $600,000. And that brings us to the most important detail, the one that separates the informed collector from the uninformed spender. The $600,000 valuation isn't just about the 1975 penny itself. It's about the specific type of error. While most 1975 pennies are common, there is a specific, ultra-rare variety that has the numismatic world in a chokehold. This involves the no-S proof penny. In 1975, the San Francisco Mint produced proof sets for collectors. These coins were supposed to bear an S mint mark. However, a tiny number of these proof pennies were struck without the mint mark. These are not the same as the regular Philadelphia pennies. They are mirror-like, specially struck coins intended for collectors. Out of over 2.8 million proof sets sold, only a handful of these no-S proof pennies are known to exist. They are the ghosts of the minting process. They were never supposed to enter circulation, but a few slipped through the cracks. The value of these specific error coins, when certified by a top-tier grading service like PCGS or NGC, is where the conversation starts reaching six figures. It's a different league entirely. Think of it this way. Finding a regular 1975 penny is like finding a grain of sand on a beach. Finding an MS-68 red is like finding a specific, flawless grain of sand. But finding a no-S proof is like finding a diamond buried in that sand. Now, let's talk about the market heat. We are living in a golden age of coin collecting. With the rise of online auctions and social media, the demand for rare U.S. coinage has never been higher. People are realizing that their pocket change is the last frontier of hidden wealth. The 1975 penny, particularly the high-grade and error varieties, is at the center of this frenzy. The trends are clear. Prices for top-tier copper cents have been steadily climbing. If you find one, you aren't just finding a coin. You're finding an asset that is appreciating faster than the stock market. So here is your call to action. This is the resolution to our story. I want you to take this seriously. Go to your change jar. Look at every penny you have from 1975. Look at the back. Look at the front. If it has no mint mark, that's step one. But don't stop there. Look at the color. Is it bright orange-red? Or is it dull and brown? Look at the details. Can you see every hair on Lincoln's head? Can you see every leaf on the memorial? If you have a penny that looks like it was just minted yesterday, you need to get it authenticated. Do not spend it. Do not clean it. Cleaning a coin destroys its value. If you have a 1975 penny that looks pristine, or if you have a proof coin from a 1975 set that is missing the S, you could be holding a ticket to financial freedom. Take it to a professional. Submit it to PCGS or NGC. The cost of grading is a few $dozen, but the potential return is $500,000. The clock is ticking. Every day, these coins are getting lost, damaged, or spent by people who don't know what they have. Don't be that person. Turn your pocket change into a portfolio. If you enjoyed this deep dive into hidden treasure, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon. Because next time we are going to look at the 1969 double die obverse penny, a coin that has fooled experts and made millionaires out of everyday people. You won't want to miss it. Until then, keep your eyes open and your change jar full. The treasure is out there. Go find it. Not just as pocket change to be discarded on a counter, but as a piece of history, a potential key to a fortune you never knew was hiding in plain sight. What if I told you that the humble 1979 D. Lincoln Memorial penny, a coin so common that over 4 billion were minted, could be the very coin that changes your life? It sounds unbelievable, doesn't it? But in the world of numismatics, the line between a 1-cent piece and a life-altering payday is thinner than the copper it's stamped on. We are living in an era where hidden wealth is being discovered not in dusty attics or forgotten bank vaults, but in the very change we carry in our pockets every single day. The 1979 D. Lincoln cent is the ultimate symbol of this modern-day treasure hunt. It represents the stark contrast between the spender and the collector. You see, the spender sees a penny as a nuisance, something to be tossed into a jar or left behind for the next person. The collector, however, sees an opportunity. They see a canvas upon which the minting process has painted a masterpiece of error, rarity, and immense value. The question is, which one are you? Are you the one who has unknowingly spent a small fortune? Or are you about to discover that you are the collector who has been sitting on a goldmine? Let's dive into the specifics. The 1979 D. Lincoln cent was struck at the Denver Mint, and its story is one of mass production meeting the unpredictable nature of industrial error. With a staggering mintage of over 4.1 billion coins, it is, by all accounts, one of the most common pennies ever produced. But here is where the narrative takes a dramatic turn. Within that sea of commonality lies a ghost, a shadow of an error that elevates a select few of these pennies from obscurity to legendary status. You see, the key to the 1979 D's value isn't just in its date or mint mark, but in the specific, almost mythical errors that occurred during its creation. Let's talk about the errors. While the 1979 D is generally known for a specific filled D or blob D mint mark error, which can add a modest premium of $5 to $25, we are not here to discuss pocket change. We are here to discuss the errors that make numismatists' hearts race. Think about the dramatic off-center strikes, the double die varieties, or the incredibly rare die cap errors that can turn a simple penny into a collector's holy grail. A multiple strike 1979 D die cap cluster once realized nearly $11,000 at auction. Imagine that, a single error on a coin that was meant to be worthless turning into a five-figure payday. This is the confrontation we face. The reality that the very imperfections of the minting process are what create the most perfect opportunities for wealth. Now, let's address the $650,000 question. How can a 1979 D penny be worth $650,000? It's a question that has rippled through the numismatic community, creating a sense of urgency and excitement. This valuation is not a myth. It is a testament to the incredible power of a perfect storm of errors. We are talking about a coin that would need to be in pristine, almost flawless condition, combined with one of the most dramatic and rare minting errors ever documented. This could be a coin struck on the wrong planchet, a coin with a spectacular double die that is visible to the naked eye, or a coin with a combination of errors that makes it truly one of a kind. The market for such a coin is red hot, driven by a new generation of collectors who are willing to pay astronomical sums for the ultimate prize. The 1969's double die, for instance, has pulled in six-figure sums, proving that the market for these modern errors is not just alive but thriving. So what does this mean for you? It means that right now, at this very moment, you have a choice. You can continue to treat your pocket change as nothing more than loose coins, or you can become a seeker of hidden wealth. The 1979 D Lincoln cent is a ghost in the market because so few people know what to look for. They see a penny. You see a potential $650,000 payday. The fear of missing out is real, and the market trends show that these errors are only going to increase in value as more people become aware of their existence. Now, I want you to do something. Right now, I want you to stop what you're doing. I want you to go to that jar of change you have on your dresser, in your car, or on your desk. I want you to look at every single 1979 penny you have. Look at the D mint mark. Is it filled in? Look at the date. Is it doubled? Look at the edges. Are they perfectly round? This is your moment. This is the pattern interrupt that could change your life. You are holding a piece of history that could be worth more than most people's homes. And here is the cliffhanger, the part that will keep you coming back for more. The 1979 D is just the beginning. There is a world of ultra-rare coins out there, each with its own story of error and immense value. In our next exploration, we will uncover the secrets of the 1943 copper penny, a coin so rare that a single specimen sold for over $1 million. But for now, your mission is clear. Examine your change. Look for the errors. You might just be holding the key to a fortune you never knew you had. The spender sees a penny. The collector sees a $650,000 opportunity. Which one are you?